We have a massive trade update for the Dallas Mavericks involving one Giannis Antetokounmpo, who we all saw lose yet again in the first round of the playoffs, but a report came out following that loss that Giannis, for the first time in his career, is open to playing for another team, citing many different reasons and requirements for wanting to leave Milwaukee for another team, and the Dallas Mavericks seem to check off a few of those boxes, as well as we have been linked to Giannis in the past. And since the Mavericks now have the number one overall pick, many people believe that the best course of action for us to win right now is to trade for Giannis. So in this video, we're going to take a look at all the reports surrounding Giannis Antetokounmpo, how well did he play this year, what does it look like to actually get Giannis, and whether or not that's what we should actually do. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we are currently sitting at 20,484 subscribers. Just want to say thank you guys so much for all the support. It's the off season, but it's not my off season. We're dropping content back to back. Everything surrounding the Dallas Mavericks. If you want to hear me talk about it, go ahead and subscribe. But the Dallas Mavericks have had a pretty interesting season. We traded away Luka Doncic, but before the trade, we had a bunch of injuries, guys getting sick. We had medical staff that weren't actually medical staff on our medical staff. It's been a wild year for Mavericks and for Mavericks fans to have to endure the ups and downs of the season. And after we lost in the second round of the play-in tournament, a lot of Mavericks fans thought, all right, that's the off season. Nothing's going to happen. Sure, we have the lottery coming up, but there's probably nothing going to happen for us, and, well, lo and behold, we were all wrong, as we did end up with the number one overall pick, and it's most likely going to be Cooper Flag. I'm 99.9% sure that's exactly what we're going to get, barring some weird update that we found that Cooper Flag, for whatever reason, doesn't want to come to Dallas. But regardless, the Dallas Mavericks are sitting pretty well, but we are still in that window of win now. Nico Harrison made a statement in February when he traded for Anthony Davis that he wants to win right now. He understands that a championship must be brought to Dallas, and whether you agree with him or not, or if you even like Nico, if anyone out there does, that is what he is trying to do. Some may say he's trying to sabotage ruin the team, others are saying he just wants to win. But regarding Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's a player that's been linked to the Dallas Mavericks several times over the last several years. Honestly, since he was a rookie on draft night, we have been trying to get Giannis to come to Dallas, and just the other day, or just earlier this week, when he lost in the first round of the playoffs, it was reported shortly after that Giannis is open to playing somewhere else. If we take a look at the report from Bleacher Report, Giannis is reportedly open-minded about exploring a trade for the first time in his career, per Shams. One of the league's biggest stars could be on the move. And in the intro, I told you guys there's a few requirements that need to be met if any team wants to go out and get Giannis. And a few of those requirements, I mean, the Dallas Mavericks, the Mavericks market, and just the state of Texas meets those requirements. If we take a look at them right here, the first one is Giannis Antetokounmpo is reportedly intrigued by the idea of playing in a state with no income tax. Boom, that's Texas. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get Giannis, but at least we're one of the three teams that he could possibly go to if he were to leave Milwaukee. You've got San Antonio, which seems most likely that it could be where he does end up going. I mean, you got De'Aaron Fox, you got Wemby, you got Stephon Castle. They also have the second overall pick. So, yes, I mean, the San Antonio Spurs, they have the talent, they have the draft assets, and anything necessarily, I mean, even contracts, to make a trade for Giannis. Even if another team has to get involved, I'm pretty sure the Spurs are going to do their best to go after him. The other Texas team, the Houston Rockets, just lost in the first round of the playoffs. Jalen Green did not play that well, and for the last several weeks, the Rockets have been linked to Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. But things are starting to look a little shady in that relationship between the Rockets and Kevin Durant, and that the interest may not be so mutual. So maybe Giannis could end up in Houston. They do have a lot of good young players. They've got draft capital. They could probably make it work. And then there's Dallas. Now, we may not have the best players or picks available, but we're also in Texas. No income tax if you come to Dallas. It's a bigger market in my honest opinion. So why would it be Dallas over the other two teams? Well, there's another requirement of Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to play alongside another top star player who would take some burden off of him, per Shams. Giannis and his representatives are actively looking into other potential destinations as he mulls over his immediate future with the Bucks. Well, if you look at San Antonio, I mean, yeah, you got De'Aaron Fox. He's a great player. Wemby, all-world talent, I get it. But then you look at Houston. Not many stars over there just yet. A lot of good young talent, but no real stars just yet. And then there's Dallas. We got Kyrie Irving. He's on ice right now. He's in the hyperbolic time chamber trying to get ready for this upcoming season to play alongside Cooper Flag. But we do have Kyrie. We also have Anthony Davis. We also got Klay Thompson. We've got older stars, but we still have stars regardless. And if Giannis wanted to come, obviously we would have to move one of them. Maybe Klay has to go, maybe PJ Gafford, a weird combination. And one thing that we got to keep in mind is the money. That's the biggest issue when it comes to trading for Giannis because he is more expensive than Kevin Durant. If you've been following this channel, we've been going over a few times about Kevin Durant coming to Dallas and the fact that he's owed $50 million. So how do you really make that work? Who has to go? Who has to come back? You'd probably have to give up way too much. But a lot of people would argue that whatever you give up to get Kevin Durant, you could give that same package to get Giannis and you're getting a better return. Giannis is honestly, and I think it's very obvious that he is a better player than Kevin Durant right now. He can help you win right now as he's already won a championship. He already has 2 MVPs. He's a player that can definitely help a win now team win right now. But how good was Giannis this season? Well, let's take a look at his stats. For the season, Giannis averaged 30.4 points per game, as well as 11.9 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.2 blocks, 0.9 steals, 3.1 turnovers, and 2.3 fouls per game, while shooting 60% from the floor, 22% from 3. I mean, obviously he's not going to be shooting the 3 that much. 22% is probably just an attempt here or there. But going 30 points and 11 rebounds as the number 1 option on your team is absolutely amazing. He's an all-star caliber player, former MVP, NBA champion, all that stuff. But obviously, if you play alongside Anthony Davis and Kyrie, let's say we do pair them and we have a big 3, those averages would go down somewhat. A lot of players' averages would go down. There'll be a lot less usage from the players outside of Kyrie, AD, and Giannis. And honestly, probably less usage from Kyrie as he'd be needed more so to facilitate for Giannis and AD. Neither of them can really be trusted to bring the ball down and set a play, so they'd have to be the ones to get fed from Kyrie. But Giannis to the Mavericks, I like it if it could work without ruining my entire franchise as far as our depth and players. Because, again, over $50 million is owed to Giannis. That's a lot of money. That's not something that you can just easily move. But will he actually be traded? Sure, most likely. There's a lot of destinations. He could also just stay in Milwaukee. But Giannis to the Dallas Mavericks does not make sense. Again, on paper, I love it. You make it happen. If I could get Giannis for nothing, gladly. A lot of people would do it. But you would give up way too much. And one of the key things for this Dallas Mavericks team that's trying to win right now is you got to keep the cohesiveness of this team together. You got to stop having this turnstile of players coming in and out, rotating to the point where this roster that we currently have, the majority of these players outside of like Jaden Hardy and Dwight Powell weren't even here for the bubble, which was only about 5 seasons ago. A lot of these guys are new, still learning to play with each other, still trying to figure out how can they win as a team. We all saw what happened after we traded for Kyrie Irving. We ended up in the lottery, and we did get Derrick Lively. A lot of people would argue we were tanking, but that's totally fine because everything else was fine after that. But we did see with Kyrie Irving, we struggled a little bit. We didn't know how to have him and Luka play well together to win games. Now that we have AD, things look a little bit better. But if you add Giannis to that, I mean, some people think you need to trade AD for Giannis. And however you want to put it, Giannis to the Mavericks would take time to learn how to play with the team, learn how to win, learn what works, what doesn't work. Jason Kidd's got to figure it out. It's a lot of work, and I don't think it's worth it for the Dallas Mavericks to go out and do. But a few other things that we definitely got to take a look at right here. They've wanted Giannis in Dallas for years. They signed his brother. Just thought I'd put out. That was Brian Windhorst. And yes, we have been linked to Giannis for a very long time. Like I said before, when he was drafted, that night we were trying to get him. It just didn't work out for us. But how long have we been trying to get Giannis recently? Well, this post from 2020, also broken by Brian Windhorst, he broke the news saying the Dallas Mavericks will be at the front of the line in an attempt to pursue Giannis in free agency. Obviously, it didn't work. Back in 2020, I don't think we really had much outside of Luka and Tim Hardaway Jr. as anything that we could possibly offer the Bucks. There were other teams that obviously could have put together a much better package for Giannis. It wasn't in the cards for us back then. I'd still argue it's not in the cards for us now. We have the number 1 overall pick. We are going to get Cooper Flag. You can book it. It's going to happen. But Giannis being traded, possibly going to a Western Conference team, is something that we definitely have to be worried about because if he were to go to the Spurs, Him, Wemby, Stephon Castle, and then he got not DeJounte Murray. He's on a completely different team. De'Aaron Fox, that would be absolutely insane. That would just reignite the rivalry between the Spurs and the Mavericks. If Kevin Durant found his way on to Houston, I'd kind of not be too worried about that. The Houston Rockets are a good team. They're a young team, talented team, but it's not their time just yet. I still believe in the Mavericks that we are in a pretty good spot right now. We just have to figure out the rest of free agency, figure out how this team will look when we start the season, and things are going to be okay. But another thing that we got to take a look at right here is Giannis's contract. He is in the first year of an extension, owed $54 million. Then it goes up to $58 million. Then it goes up to $62 million. Again, more expensive than Kevin Durant, which means more assets. And what does that trade look like? Well, shout out to my brother TGK. He posted it out today. I didn't like it, but I figured I'd share with you guys, saying, I don't know, I feel like Nico would do this. Would you be mad? You're in a win now scenario where we trade away Klay Thompson, Daniel Gafford, PJ Washington, Caleb Martin, and next year's first round pick for just Giannis. Now, some people would argue, yes, I mean, PJ Washington might get traded, so if you can get Giannis for him, cool. Caleb Martin is a good defender, but outside of that, he can't do anything else. Daniel Gafford does want starting center money, so maybe the Bucks can offer him more than what we can. And with Klay Thompson, only with 2 years left on his contract, who honestly may retire at the end of his contract, sure, send him somewhere else, you get Giannis in return. But the problem with that is this is going to be a very weak free agency outside of any restricted free agents. As far as players we can outright sign, not many that are going to be that good that if you were to trade away all those players for Giannis, that you can try to find something in free agency to make your bench, to make your supporting cast. Let's not forget what happened in Phoenix with the Suns when they traded for Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. They were scrambling to find players, signed as anybody that would take a minimum contract at the time, and they have nothing to show for it. The Suns are not in the draft, they're not in the playoffs, and they have to wait till free agency to do absolutely anything while they're over many aprons, while the Mavericks are sitting pretty. So, in conclusion, we don't need Giannis. It will be nice, but we don't need Giannis. We may want him, but the Dallas Mavericks are in a very good position right now with Kyrie Irving coming hopefully late December, early January. You've got Daniel Gafford ready to go this year. He wants a big contract, so you know he's going to play for that big contract. Anthony Davis will have the entire summer to rest and recover, and Cooper Flag is on the way. That's the icing on top. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that we may as well just trade for Giannis? We don't need a rookie. We're trying to win now. Or do you believe in me that we should just stay patient, get Cooper, don't do anything crazy, and we'll be totally fine? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for being so far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all take care, drink water. Peace.